All right, you're on with Bree and Amy.
Daddy told me to never go in the basement. I wanted to see what was making that noise. It sounded like a puppy. I wanted to see one. So I opened the basement door. I tiptoed a bit, but I never saw a puppy. Then Daddy yanked me out of the basement and yelled at me. Daddy screamed at me to never go in the basement again, but he gave me a cookie. I felt so much better. I didn't ask them about the boy in the basement or why he had no hands or feet.
Okay. What up? Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, she's saying hi to you guys.
Yep, I'm not saying hi. I'm saying hi to Amy. Hello, let's get ready to rumble.
Alice wants you to acknowledge that she's here.
I'm acknowledging that. I can see a hand in the background. I don't see a face, so I don't know if that's Alice. That sounds like Alice, and the hand maybe could have been Alice, but there's no actual proof of Alice being in the picture. So I'm not going to acknowledge that because I don't have actual facts, and we are a factual podcast.
It's very Toy Story, where I hold up the hold up the hand.
Yeah, we need like the little hands. Yeah, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Got a message from someone. I don't know if it's a real message or not, but their name is Blessin, and they sent us a message saying that they really appreciate our expertise and our passion with the world, and that our podcast is inspiring. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you. Blessings.
If that was fake, great. But, if it wasn't fake, I'm going to, I told them that we don't get much profit we don't get any profit from this. But we do it because we love it. So,
If only we had Patreon.
Nope. Cue the Patreon music. Just let it go.
Okay.
Just $3.
Thank you, blessings.
Thank you.
It's less than a coffee. Okay. So
also,
this week
we're back. Oh wait, yeah, we're back. We came back the last week. Anyway,
yeah, this is embarrassing.
Duh, I'm so sorry.
We're back again this week.
We're back.
We made
back
it
again. WWTN's back. Tell all your neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, goodbye. So this week is a hometown
Horus.
So I have a question for you. Are you ready?
Yep.
Would you ever pay for a sidekick?
I've thought about this already because I will always like I'm more so interested in what they're gonna say, but also I kind of don't want to know my future.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I don't want to know what's gonna happen.
I also don't want the responsibility of knowing what happens.
Yeah, and then also I don't want Josh to be like, "You paid for what?
Yeah,
you spent $200 on what?" Yeah, he would be so mad.
I understand that.
I would too. So I'm gonna say no. No, I would not.
Okay.
I make my own future.
Yeah, there you go. I wouldn't because I don't want that responsibility of knowing what's gonna happen.
Yeah, then you're like stressing or trying to change it.
Trying to change it. But then it's like that thought of like, is it that way because I try to change it? Because
you meddled.
The sidekick. Yeah, and so it's like, I don't know what to do. So I just will live without knowing that knowledge.
I got a question for you. What's your what's your title or your name tag you got on there?
It's the Roundup store clerk.
Oh, okay. Cool.
At the Roundup, the bug spray.
Yeah.
So I'm the store clerk for the Roundup place.
Okay. That's a step down from the job that you're at, but that's okay. I'm not judging. Well, mine is our dinner. It is barbecue chicken, mashed potatoes, and peas.
Ooh, that sounds so good.
It smells good. I'm not, like I said, I'm not starving or anything, so I'm good.
Okay. All right, who's going first this week?
I want to go first because I'm really excited about this one story.
Okay.
I'm excited about all my stories.
I have a neighborhood story for you, and this is a marketplace find.
Okay.
So it's a lamp, and it has, on the shade, it has the pink $5 Monopoly money. Looks like it might be glued to the lamp shade all the way around. And it says, funky pink Monopoly money lamp. Guess how much they're asking for it?
Oh, God. How much?
$30. Not terrible.
No, sick.
But
that's what's up.
Yeah. I don't think I'd buy it.
There's always some interesting things on Marketplace, and sometimes I get a good giggle out of it.
Yeah, I don't think I would buy it, but you know, somebody might like it.
It's made for someone, just not me.
For somebody,
maybe the Mr. Monopoly guy.
Maybe. It would be it would be really cute in like an Airbnb that had like a game room or something.
Oh, yeah.
Themed. Yeah, that would be cute.
That would probably be cute.
All right, let me hear your first neighborhood story.
All right, so this one is for all the diehard Twiharders out there.
The diehard who does?
Twiharders. Twilight, the Twilight fans, Okay, so whether you are Team Edward or Team Jacob, Edward all the way, baby. Even as an adult, seriously, like, do you want someone with an anger management problem, or do you want someone that's like got their shit together? Other than the fact that he wants to eat you. Like, he does have his shit together. He's got money. He's got his anger in control, but he does want to eat you. But, Jacob is like, I'm going to turn into a werewolf. I get mad about everything.
Yeah, that makes
the body's good looking, but, Edward's glittery, so that's cool. I do hate glitter, though. All right, so you all remember the excitement we had seeing the Twiharders, of course, seeing the final chapter of Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Right.
But not so excited when we saw the two pretty weird, creepy baby of Edward and Bella's Renesmee.
Yeah.
Obviously, the movie, the producers and the director were like, let's make a fake baby because we have to make her so pretty that we can't use a real baby and put like CGI on her or whatever. So they used a fake baby. Well, we were not the only ones who were thrown off by this baby. So although there was a lot of digital with her, they had an actual doll, an animatronic doll, and it creeped the hell out of the cast. In fact, they called her Chuck Esme. According to some, the doll has been known to move or activate on its own at times.
Oh my
she
gosh.
now she resides in a museum in Forks, Washington, dedicated to Twilight props and everything regarding the movie, of course. And her once white socks that she had on are somehow dirty, which this is an animatronic doll has never touched the ground. No one knows how it's like that, but supposedly she can walk.
What?
I don't know. Also, to add to the creepiness, she is legitimately melting, which I don't know what that means. I assume that maybe her body and her like animatronicness is like so heavy that, and maybe it gets warm that it melts the material on top. So I guess she's like actively like constantly melting. The executive director of Forks Chamber of Commerce claims she is indeed moving. He said one day she might be standing straight up and the next she will be in a completely different weird position. It's like she is moving around in there. We don't know, but we tell everybody that the cover on her is for their protection. And that is Renesmee from Twilight, aka Chuck Esme.
That is so creepy, dude.
I know. I have been dying to share that one.
I love that one. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, So this one is actually a listener story that someone sent in.
Oh, cool.
So it says, these are 3 of my friends. 2 live in Redding. Scott lives in Oregon and Alaska. He is a writer and a photographer for many outdoor publications. He used to come to neighborhood church and seminars for Fishers of Men back in the day. I knew about this, but they didn't want to make it public right at first. The cartel had been busted a year ago, and that's why they decided to publish the story. So then they sent me the story.
Okay.
So it says, some of you know this story already, some of you don't. This happened to Scott Hagen, Paris Crimmins, and me when we knocked out our World Slam in 2022. If you're going to Mexico, I suggest you have a good reason. Place is lawless for sure. It was spring of 2022, and we were heading out of Mexico's Sierra Madres, where we've been hunting Gold's turkeys for 3 days. The winding roads through the mountains of the Sonora made for slow going. Eventually, we hit a brief stretch of straight road, and the only one for several miles, and a pickup truck sped past us. It whipped in front of our vehicle and slammed on the brakes, stopping broadside. There was no way to drive around it, so our driver skidded to a halt. Through the blue smoke of skidding tires, I saw 3 doors fly open and out rushed 3 men with AR-15s. Charging our truck, they yelled and pointed their guns at us. Through our rolled-up tinted windows, we could feel the intensity of their shouting. I opened the door to an AR muzzle just inches from my face. The man wielded the gun, grabbed at my leg, shouting, "Line up, line up." I exited the truck, hands up. I knew that one hijacker was exchanging words with the driver, but their voices faded even though I was only a few feet from them. Then our driver exited the truck, arms in the air. "Back away and keep your hands up," the driver instructed. "They're going to take the truck and all of our belongings, but not kill us if we comply." We all backed away, hands high in the air. The cartel members hopped into the truck and ours, started to drive off, then suddenly stopped. I was certain that they were now going to shoot us, since this was the first time throughout the whole ordeal that we were all standing together. Instead, they began grabbing our luggage and throwing it out the road. Then they sped away. The sudden triumph of being alive hit us all at once. Nothing else mattered, not our gear, not our truck, not our money, and certainly not the world slams we'd just completed. It was my birthday. Life was the greatest gift. It took us 5 hours, but we hitchhiked our way to Hermosillo. Multiple people picked us up and dropped us off, plus all of our luggage along the way. Eventually, a rancher with a brand new Ford truck picked us up. He was hauling a large horse trailer. "I just got this truck because last week the cartel stole my other new one," he told us. "I was driving into my property and they were hiding in the brush at my gate. They held me at gunpoint and took my truck, trailer, and horses and all. It's happening all over all the time to everyone, even the locals."
Wow.
Now he had security armed with AR riding along with him. When we made it to Hermosillo, the driver reported the incident to the local authorities, and I got in touch with a friend at the U.S. border, where he's big brass. When I told him how helpless we felt and how we would have liked to had guns at the ready to at least stand a fighting chance, his reply left me speechless. "You wouldn't have made it out of that canyon alive," he said. I asked how he knew we were in the hills, a fact that I had not disclosed. "They do this in the mountains so the snipers have an elevated vantage point in case anything goes wrong. I can just about promise you they were snipers on you the whole time. The wrong move, and none of you would have made it out alive."
Whoa.
Crazy.
Freaking chills, man. That's crazy. That's who sent that in? Dear God. If you can't say their name, it's okay.
I cannot say their name.
Wow. That was intense and terrifying. I wonder if any of them pooped their pants, because I for sure would have.
I would have pooped my pants too.
Yeah. I would have. Oh my God. They're lucky.
Crazy. What's your next one, buddy?
Okay. This one is from that one website that I just recently found, the yourghoststories.com. So
Oh, yeah.
it says, I used to work with this amazing woman who I called the baby whisperer. She had been working in early education since she was a teenager and had 60 plus years of experience in this field. 2 years ago, she fell ill and we lost her. She was the heart of our center. She was everybody's grandma and everybody loved her. During the funeral, about 30 new and old coworkers, teachers, and families who she had impacted all sat in the same section of the big church that the funeral was held. We joked that it was the company name section. Anyway, about halfway through
Okay.
the funeral, the speaker was talking about her career and how much she loved taking care of her babies. During this moment, a giant wreath hung on the church wall right next to our section fell to the ground. We
Oh my
all looked
gosh.
at it and each other. We giggled because she would do that. The little
She
Spitfire.
would.
About 6 months after her passing, a coworker and I were talking while working in her old classroom. I was changing a diaper in the diaper changing area while she was in the classroom section. 2 classrooms were connected by a diapering area with a gate to each classroom. All of a sudden, the gate to the other classroom, which was empty, flew open and hit the wall. I thought that someone had walked through the classroom or something, even though we didn't see anyone. I finished up and checked the room, empty. My coworker said, "Nope," and moved her and her 2 babies to the back of the room.
Oh
Last
my
year,
gosh.
a coworker of mine and I were having a conversation. She was getting ready to go on break and had her phone sitting on the half wall in the classroom about 5 feet from where we were standing. During our conversation, her phone flew off of the half wall onto the floor. We both stopped,
What?
looked at the phone on the floor. She calmly said, "Well, okay then." The building is
Okay.
40 years old. Our work grandma worked there since it had opened. I'm not
Oh,
sure of the
wow.
time frame, but a long time ago, the center had sadly lost an infant to SIDS while being at the center. This was
Oh,
not the
man.
only occurrence that happened at this building. There was one other before she had passed away. And that was it.
Wow. Ugh. I hope that she just really loved her job and that's why like she chose to reside as a ghost there and like she wasn't stuck there because she worked so much. You know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I remember working at a day I worked at a daycare for a while, and I remember working in the baby room, and it smelled a lot different than the rest of the classrooms.
Yes, it
You
does.
gotta have a different kind of nose for that.
Yeah.
It's like the minute you walk in there, you're like, "God dang it,
It
smells
smells
like
like diaper
shit
in
in here."
here.
And it's in your nose all day, and you feel like you smell like
It
shit all
is.
day.
Yeah. Oh, that's a rough one. Okay, so 27-year-old Shailene Diaz allegedly arranged a date with a man on social media before picking him up near his home on the evening of Sunday, January 7th, 2024. Before she drove off, she handcuffed him, blindfolded him, and claimed that it was part of their date. Ma'am, this is not that kind of date.
Whoa, we got kinky real fast.
So the man claimed or complained that the handcuffs were too tight. So she pulled over and told him the keys to the handcuffs were in the trunk. Then an accomplice, 21-year-old Robert Lane Hall, got into the vehicle and put a rope around the victim's neck. Then she drove around the county before pulling over and dragging the man out of the vehicle. Robert stabbed him 19 times with a 7-inch knife. The victim pretended to go limp for a minute, and Robert got up for just a bit, and the victim got up and took off running and was able to get away. That was after being
That's
stabbed.
adrenaline for you.
Yeah. So his jugular vein on both sides of his neck were nearly missed.
Oh,
Robert eventually
wow.
Robert eventually called dispatch and confessed to the attack. He said he convinced Shailin to do this for him and claimed that he had a problem with the victim and this was how he was going to get back at him. The victim ended up surviving. Shailin was sentenced to 10 years in prison and Robert was sentenced to life in prison.
Jeez.
That is
That's
crazy.
That's intense.
Yeah. No, it was in a
Okay.
vehicle, not in a tent.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I love that joke. Okay. So my next one is it's actually from a Reddit post. Someone asked a question. It was from r/Christianity. And they said, do you know anybody who has had any personal experiences with demonic possessions? Are exorcisms real? So
No.
I took screenshots of all the comments and stuff. So
Okay.
first comment from Punchhole 2 years ago. Punchhole. I have performed multiple exorcisms, which means this is probably a priest, which I question your name, but that's fine. You do you.
Okay.
I have performed multiple exorcisms, maybe 40 plus. It's hard to keep track. The vast majority of them were on the mission field across Africa. They can be very dramatic to the extent that multiple voices come from someone's mouth, levitating, lights flickering, etc. But in my experience, that was maybe 5 out of 40. I've seen my friend's body contort and multiple voices come from his mouth here in the States as well, so it's definitely not sequestered to just Africa. It was terrifying at first, but the Holy Spirit empowers you in a way that I've never experienced otherwise to cast them out without fear. And let me tell you something. Every demon falls before the authority of Jesus' name. If anyone has any questions about it, I'm happy to answer. Thank you, Punchhole. Okay. The next comment was from Ad Tradition 1594. And they said, hello, I'm possessed by many demons. They contort, affect, take over my personality, thoughts, and emotions. I have a religious spirit, a spirit of sloth, Jezebel, a torturing spirit, and more. Can you help me? I'm not saved and have tried to receive salvation for years, but cannot due to demonic possession. I believe the Bible shows that a Christian cannot be demon possessed and vice versa. Please let me know if you can help me. And then someone said, go to a priest in a Catholic church, request exorcism, give the priest proof. Okay.
Dude, that's absolutely nuts. That person needs to be seen by somebody.
Oh, yeah, it's terrifying.
You know what's the craziest part about it? Is a pastor on Reddit.
I know. That's what I thought too. I was like, what are you doing on here? I don't know if you're really a pastor or a priest. I don't know. What are you doing?
I don't know about this. What are you doing on this side of Reddit?
I don't think you're supposed to be on here.
I don't think so. Okay, so 47-year-old Michelle Peters and her husband lived happily in Missouri, and she threw him a birthday party for her husband for his 50th birthday. Starting on May 1st, 2024, he said that the 2-liter bottles of Mountain Dew he keeps in the garage had an odd taste to them, and he would get sick after drinking it. At first, the husband said he ignored the strange taste of the soda and continued to drink it. But after a couple weeks, he started feeling sick, and he told the police. He said that he had a sore throat, coughed up mucus, and was vomiting. On June 12th, he said he reviewed video footage of the garage, which allegedly showed Michelle taking a 2-liter bottle of Diet Mountain Dew out of the refrigerator, grabbing the Roundup, and then placing the soda back in the refrigerator. The husband said he then became afraid for his life. When he told his wife he felt sick, she told him he probably has COVID and to stay away from the grandkids. On June 23rd, he claims he saw Michelle on the surveillance camera in the downstairs area and saw her with a bottle of Mountain Dew near a bottle of Roundup on the shelf and notified the sheriff's office. When questioned by police, Michelle allegedly said she mixed the bottle or the soda and Roundup in a cup to use as weed killer, something she claims she saw on Pinterest. The detective told her he had watched several videos of her in the garage and that there was no cup. The detective also said authorities had multiple bottles of Mountain Dew containing Roundup that were removed from the refrigerator. Michelle then said, "I should have just divorced him." When the detective asked her to explain, she said her husband is selfish and they have relationship issues. Michelle allegedly denied previously putting Roundup in the soda. The affidavit alleges, but admits to putting insecticide from the basement in a 2-liter Mountain Dew and putting it in the refrigerator the night of June 23rd. Michelle
What?
said that she was mad at her husband because she had thrown him a 50th birthday party and he was not appreciative. Michelle she said she believed the chemical in the basement was Roundup when she put it in the Mountain Dew bottle and did so to be quote unquote mean to her husband. Michelle is being held at the Lacey County Detention Center without bond.
Wow. Wow. That
Don't
is
poison your husband. Don't do it. You will get caught.
Yeah, you're gonna get caught. That's it. I wonder how long they had grandchildren. How long were they married for?
I don't
Dear
know.
God.
It was his 50th anniversary.
Oh my gosh. That's my gosh. The poor guy. He's like, what did I
That
do?
poor man. I mean, if they had relationship issues, maybe get
Just-
counseling
Yeah, or get a divorce.
or just get a divorce.
Get a
It's
divorce, man.
cheaper.
It's not worth it. Yeah, it's cheaper than going to jail. And you won't be stuck in jail the rest of your life.
Exactly.
All right. Now I know to check my drinks. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
so this last one I have here, I found an article, or not an article, on the website cryptidsfandom.com. I found the top 10 ridiculous cryptids. So I'm going to give you the top 10. The first one, number 1, is X monkey. The X monkey is an alleged primate said to live in many forests. Since there is only one and it is said to move around a lot, it is very hard to study. The X monkey is said to have been created in a lab. The scientist who created it is unknown, yet many people believe it was Albert Einstein himself because he was always very uneasy when talking about it. The X monkey is about the size of an orangutan, and half of its face is robotic. One of its eyes is robotic, so its eyes are always glowing red. A slight fraction of Kenya has claimed to have seen it, and explorers have found a rundown lab in the middle of Kenya, and they found blueprints as well as a broken tank with hair. The hair had orangutan DNA as well as an artificial DNA. The blueprints exactly matched the description of the civilians, each and every one. The name at the top of the blueprint said simply X. This cryptid is fabricated, and its earliest mention was on a cryptid wiki and is now closed by Wicca. Wicca. So that is the X monkey. I'm gonna, because these are kind of long. I'm gonna just give you 5, and I'm gonna give you the next 5 at the next 10 hours. All right. So the next one, get ready. The dildo monster.
No, Bree. No,
Yep.
thank you.
Before
This is
you
not real.
Before you report this section, I promise you this isn't a troll. The dildo monster is a supposed monster that lurks underneath Dildo Pond. Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. In terms of ridiculousness, the dildo monster isn't much different than most other lake monsters. Other than that, it's, let's just say, unflattering.
No way.
According to the couple that have claimed to see it, it was bigger than an Ogopogo, which I think is another cryptid, which they gloated about. However, no further reports of the dildo monster, so let's just leave it to a tall tale. Please don't Google
'Kay.
this. If you're curious, click this link.
I don't want to click the link either. I don't want to do any of those.
Moral of the story, it says double check what you're naming your cryptids.
Yes. Yes.
All right, the next one, number 3, Dog Boy.
Okay.
Arkansas is renowned for its abundance of ghost stories, with many older houses believed to harbor spirits. Amidst this backdrop, it's challenging for any legend to stand out. However, one tale that has risen to prominence is the legend of Dog Boy. In 1954, Gerald Floyd Bettis was born to Floyd and Eileen Bettis in what is known as the Bettis house. According to those who knew him, Gerald had a disturbing habit as a young boy. He would capture dogs and cats, bringing them
Oh my
into his
gosh.
home not as pets, but as victims of his cruel torture and eventful deaths. Sorry. Yet his most infamous actions were directed towards his own parents. According to the story, he confined them to the attic, where they remained for years. Police reports confirm several abuse inflicted upon his parents, yet Gerald evaded arrest until after his father's death and continued mistreatment of his mother. He met his demise in prison from a drug overdose. Ever since,
Yeah.
reports of paranormal occurrence have circulated regarding the house. Witnesses recount flickering lights, mysterious sounds, and objects seemingly moving on their own. Given Bettis' history, such disturbances seem rather mild in comparison. I don't know where Dog Boy is, but I guess he's Dog Boy. That's not really a cryptid, but whatever.
I was picturing. Have you ever seen that photo that will make its round on Facebook or on the internet every once in a while of a dog that's like also a man?
That's what this
face?
is. They have a picture of him, and it's like, I should post all these, but they have like a man's face, but like the snout is just a dog snout.
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I hate that photo.
At number 4, a giant flying squid. Not just a giant squid, a giant flying squid.
It's flying.
The giant flying squid is a hypothetically living specimen of squids. Some specimens, for example, can fly. Neon flying squid or Japanese flying squid has never been reported, though. Somebody just thought of it. So, okay.
Okay.
That was it for that one. Number 5
like
and the
that
last one.
Hold on. Have you heard of the family that's in Texas, I think it is, or Oklahoma? And this was just recently, like this last week. The parents bought their son an octopus for whatever reason, like he wanted an octopus. And
What?
so they bought him this octopus. It's just like a little octopus. Like you can have an octopus as a pet.
Yeah, they're adorable.
Okay.
I see them on TikTok
Yeah.
all the time.
I know, I want one real bad.
Me too.
But so they bought him this octopus. Well, like 2 months later, this octopus lays 50 eggs. And they're like, oh, great. Like, I hope those aren't fertilized. They probably aren't. We've had her long enough, blah, blah, blah. No. They are all fertilized. And
God.
she hatched 50 separate octopuses. And like, they have to keep them all separate because of the way that they like octopus are when they're babies. Like they will like fight each other to the death for food.
Oh my God.
So they're like keeping them all separate, and they don't have a big enough tank. And like they've called like all these different places, but like, hey, do you want a baby octopus? And the places are like, no, thank you. So like they just have these 50 baby octopuses that they're trying to like home.
We could like see free cat, free kittens, free puppies all the time. Free octopus. Please. We have an abundance of octopuses. Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh.
Oh my god. That's like the worst case scenario ever.
I
Like
just love it so much, though.
I love watching like the TikToks of them like trying to come out of the tank and trying to spend time with the
Yeah.
owners. They're so intelligent and they'll like try to like
They
walk up
are.
them. So I think they're
Yeah.
like one of the smartest animals. It's pretty cool.
At least one of the smartest marine animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
All right. No, you're good. I love that. So the last and final one I have is the Wolfenpoof.
Oh boy, I think I've heard of this one before.
So there's another language. I'm not going to read that part. It says it is fabricated avian species conceived as a comical fabrication by Dr. Lesker W. Sharp, a professor of botany and Cornell University in the United States. Why did he do this, you may ask? The answer is more straightforward than you think. Dr. Sharp wanted to see how far it could go before one of his students questioned him about its authenticity.
Okay.
Not wanting to correct their professor, the Wolfenpoof remained for a whole semester, with the result being a 35-plus page report on a creature that was actually a pelican car hood ornament.
Oh my gosh.
So these aren't actually cryptids. They're just
They're
made
just
up.
like, they're made up cryptids. That's.
Oh my god. Oh.
I'd be so mad if I was that professor. I'd be like,
Same,
because
like especially like a doctor professor, you don't want to correct them. It's like, all right, I'm just gonna do whatever they say. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
This sounds legit. This is
Oh
probably a
my
really rare
gosh.
species. Oh, that's
Oh,
good.
that's hilarious. Thank you for sharing those.
Welcome, buddy.
Okay, so my last one.
All right.
So this is from, I got this directly from the People magazine. So I'm just going to read it how they have it in the article. So a woman was arrested after police say she used the guise of providing sidekick services in order to rob someone at gunpoint, according to news sources. Carola Mitchell, 52, was charged with robbery with a firearm and kidnapping in the first degree with a firearm, in addition to 3 out-of-county warrants, according to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office online booking records. Officers said on May 16th, Mitchell had gone to a home and asked the woman who answered the door where she could buy Mexican food and requested some water inside before offering some sidekick services, according to WTSP TV and Fox 13 News. Judith Ramirez told Fox 13 News that her mother-in-law had answered the door and had briefly checked who was at the door before going to another room to check on her baby. She claimed that was when Mitchell pulled out a gun on her mother-in-law and demanded money. She told her that if she doesn't give her the money, she was going to hurt us and my baby and I. And then she's like, okay, so she gave her the money, Ramirez recalled to the outlet. Police said Mitchell stole $12,000 in cash before fleeing in her car, per WFLA TV. Who has $12,000?
Yeah,
in
right?
cash
Like, I
laying
just
around?
have that laying around. God, I wish.
A neighbor's house managed to capture footage while the white Nissan Rogue leaving the area around the time the robbery occurred, per the outlet. After a month-long investigation, officers eventually traced the car to Branton, Florida. Florida. And Mitchell was arrested, police told WFLA TV. Police said the woman has been using her sidekick services as a ruse to gain entry into victims' homes, to commit robberies or thefts of cash and jewelry, per WFL TV and WTSP TV. Investigators also requested a warrant to search Mitchell's devices after she told them that she always kept a phone with her, which they believe have been in her possession during the robbery, and may lead them to another potential victims and outlets. Ramirez shared that the frightening incident has had an impact on her mother-in-law, saying, "It's really scary because my mother-in-law, when she talks about it, she still cries. The money is gone, but we're happy that we are okay and nothing happened to us." Mitchell is currently being held at the Falklandburg Road Jail without bond. Back to you, Brie at the studio.
That was pretty good. Dang. Where did that happen? In Florida?
It was like sounds like it was like the Georgia Florida
Yeah.
line. Hillsboro.
Okay. I don't know where that is.
Hillsboro's in Georgia.
I was about to say, I love that. I said, okay, like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know what that means.
Yeah, so it was like the Georgia Florida line. So, do you have a neighborhood story?
Yes. All right, so this one was back in April after we just moved here, and I had seen this Facebook Market post. I don't think I talked about this before.
I don't think you have.
When Stanley Cups first started becoming big, I saw a Facebook post, and it is here, I'll show you. It's a empty jug of milk.
Oh
or
my
a jug of milk,
gosh.
and they drew the Stanley logo on it, and it's got water in it, and it says,
Does the water come free with it?
yeah, right. I should have asked them. So I had to reach out to them because I was like, this is awesome. So the description is, be a part of history with this limited edition 1-of-1 Stanley 100 firm. I know what I got.
I know what I got.
And I had messaged them because I was like, that made me giggle. I said, this is hilarious. And they said, I also have a very, very limited edition pink and aqua blue. They colored it. I said, I'm dying. I said, thank you. I said, I needed a good laugh. They said, anytime. I'm pretty sure that's why people keep me around for a bit. Anyway, I'm working on getting a limited purple. I'll let you know when I get it.
I absolutely
I
love
do not
that.
get mad when I see people post stupid fake shit
No,
on
me
It's
either.
just funny. And usually I'll send them a message and be like, thanks.
I love that you interacted with the person.
I do a lot. I think I've interacted with people selling snow in Alaska.
Oh my
It's great.
gosh.
Thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you. We're gonna because I'm gonna pack.
Yeah, Amy's got packing to do. She's coming to see me. Not really. She's moving.
Oh, I wish.
To me. She's moving to me.
Yeah, I wish. That would be amazing.
No, she's moving. It's gonna be great. She'll have her own studio.
Yes.
Where there's no waving tiny hands in the background.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? Have you checked in on the neighbors?
What's with the neighbors?
Stop, please. Bree and Amy.
Out. And Alice. Out.
Out.
Ouch.
That was bad.
Alice,
say hi to your cats for us.
Don't get dead.
All right. Bye, buddy.
Goodbye.